Welcome back to PH.d TV, and today we'll be going over Homme Noir by Jean Marc Paris. So you're gonna find this guy for a whopping $10 at TJ Maxx. I tell you, I don't know how I pulled this guy off. It was pretty wallet breaking. But for 10 bucks, I thought I could give it a shot, you know, give my opinion and give my reviews. So next time you're in TJ Maxx, you might have a better opinion on this before you buy. As always, I'll give you a look at the box. It's very simple. It's actually pretty good for a $10 box. I mean, it's made out of a good box as you would find any other fragrance in maybe a Belk or even more of a niche type fragrance house. As you see, Jean Marc Paris, the documentation of how much it is and in terms of fluid ounce. That's an eau de toilette. Once again, 10 bucks, and so on and so forth. And of course, the label of the box itself, Homme Noir. And now onto the bottle. So I've put my hand right here so you can see through it because it is a transparent bottle. Actually, that's a better angle for it anyway. So here is the bottle. Vaguely cheap and inexpensive looking, but honestly, for a $10 fragrance, it's actually not a bad bottle. The cap is not click in place, but it is just kind of snugly put on. In terms of presentation, that is literally it. It's just Homme Noir by Jean Marc Paris. Here's the atomizer. Nothing crazy, nothing silly out of the ordinary. Let's give this a spray here. So as you saw, it doesn't exactly shoot out in a fine mist, but it doesn't exactly just shoot straight liquid out as well. Now, something pretty great about finding this for 10 bucks is that if you go on Amazon, you're gonna end up finding this for about $45. When in my opinion, this is definitely not worth $45. So do wait till you find this in a rack store for about 10. Because for 10 bucks, it's actually not that bad of a fragrance. Now, is it quality top of the line? Not so much, but it is definitely a bang for your buck throw on for the end of the night or an errand. And something to know that according to Fragrantica, this does tend to remind people a lot of Armani Code, Section Noir by Michael Germain, and Zegna Intenso. And honestly, for something called Noir, which typically leans something that you wear at the nighttime, this is a very fresh in the daytime, honestly, throw it on in the morning when you wake up just to get the day started type smell. So the fact they called it Noir was kind of strange in my opinion when I first smelled it. Even though I can see this being good at night, I do find this to be a easier, fresh, in the middle of the day type smell in my opinion. And in terms of the way it smells, I do find this to be a woody fougere type scent. And the top notes is a very cardamom, grapefruit, and bergamot smell. The middle does hit a lavender and honey, orange blossom musk, and the heart basically just lands with the sweet tobacco, tonka bean, and moss type end. And as I said, even though that does generally kind of lean towards a very nighttime type scent to a degree, again, why it's probably called Noir, that orange blossom musk really kicks in and makes it a daytime fresh due to the citrus that it just projects. It projects a lot of citrus. And honestly, I really like the smell. For 10 bucks, as I said, I don't know if I'd spend 45 bucks on this, but for the smell for 10 bucks, I'm actually gonna give this a solid 8 out of 10. Because actually, this is my scent of the day. When I woke up, I put it on, and I've smelled it since then, but that's where it comes down to longevity and the projection, and that's where I start having a few issues to a certain degree. But in terms of projection and in terms of longevity, that's where I start having a few issues with Homme Noir. This is easily an hour of strong projection. The second hour it starts becoming less so, because in the third hour it becomes a skin scent, and that fourth hour it kind of dies away and I don't really smell it. But as you've seen in my other reviews and my other videos, I'm not an oily person, and I'm not someone who holds on to scents that well. My skin soaks up the scent and I have to apply a few times a day if I want to smell consistent throughout the hours of the day. So this is good for me to have around the house because I can apply it throughout the day without feeling like I'm wasting a lot of fragrance, especially one that may be more expensive. Or if I'm gonna have to step out and run to the grocery store for 30 minutes, this is a great toss on because once again, I'm not gonna want to wear something that's super expensive to run to the store, because running to the store, this will be a much more suitable option. So in terms of projection for that first hour, again, I'm rating the projection for the first hour. I'm gonna have to give that a 7 out of 10. It wasn't a monster projector, but it was enough to get the job done for chilling at the house. And in terms of longevity, I'm gonna have to give that a really sad 5 out of 10. Because once again, I don't have the world's most oily skin, but to the certain degree that I have to apply it every fourth hour or maybe even third, that's really gonna bring that score down for me. So in the end scheme of things, this is gonna be a 6.5 out of 10 in terms of my overall score, which does make that to me a little barely above average, but to me this is a very average fragrance. But the reason that it is slightly above average is because for 10 bucks it is slightly above average. If I spent 45 bucks on this, I probably would have rated this probably in in that 4 to 3 out of 10 range, honestly. Because even though it does smell good, spending 45 bucks on something that lasts 3 hours and only projects the first hour and some change is just gonna be very disappointing. But for 10 bucks, something you can find at a rack store at any point, something that's inoffensive, something that smells fresh. And again, for 10 bucks, that's where that 6.5 out of 10 score comes from, because I don't feel as bad just spritzing this on a whole bunch throughout the day in order to make up for that 3 to 4 hour longevity. I do feel like this would be a great gym scent in terms of what I would use this for. As I said, this is great for running errands, perfect for going to the gym. This is perfect for an in general get together with friends, and maybe for an in general guys night where you're not looking to impress anyone. But in terms of me actually getting this again, I would probably get this again if I was running out of a gym scent, if I was running out of a cheap fragrance to throw on, you know, because we all just want to have that fragrance to throw on at some point. To me, this would be that cheap fragrance. But say if I had some other cheap fragrances that I was more of a fan of, like Nautica Voyage or something like that, I probably would not get this again. I'm happy to say I bought it once. I'll probably get some great use out of this. I'll definitely use it. It smells great. But again, due to the lack of performance in terms of projection and longevity, I'm probably not gonna buy this again anytime in the near future unless I'm in a pinch. But again, for 10 bucks, if you're in high school or college and you just want something fresh to throw on for a 2-hour class, Homme Noir might just work out for you. And that is my review for the day. If you liked this, please make sure you do like it and subscribe down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time with my next review.